Welcome everyone, my first Ferocious Cup of this month, and this cup was held yesterday, depending on the time you're seeing this. It was held on 15th November, and new update of Pokemon Go arrived after midnight, the 15th, and it changed a lot of mechanics, a lot of stuff. Like I will explain to you guys in depth along the video. So first match versus Nerop. Now I don't know if anything has changed here. At this point, I am still guessing that the game is like it used to be, and I take Umbreon lead with Alolan Marowak and Skuntank. Now my Umbreon is not Legacy. I couldn't manage a Legacy Umbreon, and his Umbreon, I knew for a fact that his Umbreon wasn't Legacy either. So first match. So here, as you can see, the charge button is vague. Like it's like hidden before my charge move actually appears. Now this may be a visual bug, but here I am. But as you can see, I dropped a frame right there just before I clicked Foul Play, Dark Pulse. Every time I hit a charge move or my opponent hits a charge move, my frame drops. Here I try to go for double Dark Pulse and try to get an energy advantage over my opponent. And yes, I am running Dark Pulse Umbreon because of some matchups I didn't like before. He is running a Foul Play variant. And I am not sure if they patched undertapping completely or not, but at this point I hadn't tried undertapping yet. So again, I am going for double Dark Pulse to get energy advantage. And I miscounted there because I dropped a frame, right? So I was counting one extra snarl, and my snarl didn't happen, but I counted it anyways because of the lag. So here you can see that there is the loading Pokeball in the left of my screen, and from here on out you'll see for the whole clip that it shows the weak connection. I don't think that the weak connection, like I was running on mobile data. I always use mobile data, these mobile datas, and the problem wasn't with my mobile data because I tried running other games with the same mobile data, and this is a brand new phone I'm running, and I tried, but still I have no idea why the game just kept this loading thing, and it kept showing the weak icon. And as you can see, his Umbreon is at red HP and mine is gone. So that dropped frame there, I actually dropped 2 fast moves. So I did the double piggyback with Dark Pulse, and the first time I got it off. So I should be at an energy advantage, right? But still, I lose the mirror. My Umbreon is pretty good IV, so I don't think that's an IV thing. I think I missed 2 snarls there. That's why he had so much more HP than me. And here, his Nidoking is just going to reach for Earth Power. And now, another thing. Keep a close eye on the bottom of the screen. When I do a charge move, after you do a charge move, your switch icon appears, right in the bottom right, but the switch icon after the update, it doesn't appear. So later in my matches, I tried switching in the middle of my charge attack animation, and it would be just a fluent process. And here you could see that I had to switch after my Pokemon finished its charge animation, and then I could switch and my Pokemon had a pause. So there, my Skuntank lost one poison jab, and switching into Marowak, his Nidoqueen got a poison jab off, and switching into Marowak, his Nidoqueen got another poison jab off. So his Nidoqueen got two poison jabs off, while I had got nothing. So I would lose this match anyways because of my team comp. I admit that, but with the old mechanics, I wouldn't lose this hard. And it was a time up, he had more HP left, so he won anyways. And the second match, I decided to lead with Alolan Ninetales. And again, I don't know why, but I don't think my mons are switching properly. And his game wasn't updated as of yet. And did you see there the lag? It's not my phone, it's the game. Like I played Mobile Legends, I played PUBG before playing Pokemon Go, and everything ran smooth on this new phone. But here again, before the charge move, again my frame dropped. I lagged. And I use Crunch, he shields. Now I'm trying to preserve my energy and take out his Nidoqueen as soon as possible. And there was this glowing animation. I am noticing this as I am editing my video, but I didn't notice it back when I was playing. Now, before the tournament, I thought that the game was like it used to be. It's just muscle memory, right? Like you are switching, you are doing a charge move, and as your charge move ends, you switch instantly. But not after your charge move animation ends that you get to tap the switch icon. And that puts my mon at least one or two fast move disadvantage than my opponent. Every game. From here on out. You can count my fast moves, and you'll see that my opponent always, if I try to switch, my opponent gets one extra fast move. Before, your opponent would get one extra fast move, but as your other mon was switching in, your opponent would get one extra fast move. But here, they are getting one extra fast move because of the delay of the switch button. And here again, lag. Like it wasn't lagging like crazy, but it was lagging really occasionally. It was lagging periodically. And here I just want my Umbreon to go down. Now here what I should have done is I should have switched to my Ninetales. That was a big mistake, and the team comp wasn't as good. I should have ditched Umbreon for Bibarel or Sandslash even. I should have switched Umbreon and kept Skuntank. My team comp was off. Now here I switch into my Ninetales and he will switch into his Bibarel. Now again I get my Psyshock off, he shields. And here, did you see he got off two water guns before I could even switch? Before I tried to switch. I'm telling you guys, there's a delay as I'm trying to switch. And if I didn't get that delay, I may have gotten off that crunch. And may have possibly won this match. This time I take the same team comp but switch up my lead. I lead with Skuntank and he leads with Umbreon. Now I am running a Flamethrower Skuntank. I am running Flamethrower because of Alolan Sandslash and the Mirror. And Flamethrower Skuntank also beats Umbreon. If it isn't Last Resort Umbreon, it also beats it, but it beats it by a lower margin, but it still beats Umbreon because of the stab, poison jabs doing damage and neutral flamethrowers. But for Last Resort Umbreon, it's a totally different case. I go for straight flamethrowers. He shields. I should have tried to bait with my crunch because I knew he was going to shield as his Umbreon was getting low. So I decide not to block that because I thought that I would get to another flamethrower, but I probably wouldn't at that point. So I decided to let my Skuntank go and bring in my Ninetales for some energy advantage. So he switches here and I instantly switch to my Umbreon. Here I didn't get any switch lag, so I could switch smoothly. And I am so confused right now that I get some switches so smoothly, so fluidly, like the game, like it was in the old patch. But again, after charge moves, if I try to switch after a charge move, I get a delay, a 1 second or even 2 second delay. It's not that I am not pressing the button as fast or I am slow on my reflexes. But here I am literally hitting the switch button as I'm doing a charge move, as I'm doing a charge move on my Mon, like I used to, and now the charge move the switch button just appears after the animation ends, and I'm so confused at this point that I don't even know what to do. So I farm down his Bibarel. I have a shield left and a full health Ninetales in the back. He has Nidoqueen. I got over 2 Dark Pulses charged. I don't get the piggyback off. The poison jab animation goes through. And he switches. And I decide to stay in. I don't know, guys. The clips look so bad as I'm seeing it. So I switch to my Alolan Ninetales so that he uses up his energy from his Nidoqueen, or he would just go down. I know this is a losing matchup, but if he doesn't use his Earth power here, he will just die to Charms, or I would get to my Psyshock. So again, just before he hits Earth power, my frame drops. I lag. So round number 2 versus Stonks. At this point I am trying to adapt to the new delay of the switches, to the new delay of the button, and and the new charge move. I don't know if things got changed or not, but this isn't a visual thing. It they changed the mechanic. No, I'm not the mechanic, but the switch button. And I know, like, I may sound like I'm whining, but this was in the middle of a tournament. I wake up in the morning and I go to the tournament. I charge my phone overnight, so my app is updated overnight. And I don't know, like usually I don't even care if my app is updated or not. It just, all my apps are updated automatically, and I don't even go to my Play Store to check if all my apps are updated or not. It just does everything automatically. But here I just don't know what to say. Like, I'm lagging so bad at this point. And my opponent, Stonks, his app got updated just like me, and he's facing the same issue I am facing. So you'll see, if when he's trying to switch, I will get energy advantage over him, because there's a delay when he tries to switch. And again, because I don't have last resort, I lose to Alolan Raticate. And in the next game, I think I lose to Alolan Raticate again. So I should have ditched Umbreon at this point. But Umbreon has just so much matchups overall. So much neutral matchups overall. Like here, my Umbreon lost, right? But his Alolan Raticate is at raid HP. So, and he used a shield. So I can just farm out his Alolan Raticate with my Skuntank. Use one shield, because Hyper Fang would do really Hyper Fang would take almost Skuntank to half HP. And another thing, see here, when he's switching, that my charge moves are gone. So you can't tap your charge move. You can't panic tap your charge move before your opponent's Pokemon switches into you. So the button goes away before the charge move is charged. Okay, that's fine. That may be a visual thing. But the button goes away when he's switching, or if his Mon died. So if he tapped his... But he can tap his charge move while he's switching. So he can get off his charge move while he's switching, but you have to just sit there. And here, we both had the same issue. We both lagged out when trying to switch. So my Skuntank lost a poison jab, and his Nidoqueen lost a poison jab as well. And we switched at the exact same moment, and again I'm lagging. I tested my internet connection after this match, if that was my mobile data acting up. But here I just don't know. I get to my crunch. Again lagging. And I would get to my crunch sooner than his earth power, because crunch is less energy than crunch is 45 or 50 energy, I think, and earth power is 55. So I win my first game versus Tonks, and my second game I decide to switch it up because Umbreon wasn't really doing much of a job. So I took B-Barrel for his Nidoqueen. I'm sorry, I switched out Alolan Marowak, because Alolan Marowak wasn't really doing much versus his team. So I took B-Barrel and Double Darks in the back. I switched to my Umbreon. I think that I should have swapped to my Skuntank, but it doesn't matter. Umbreon wins this match anyways. So my whole tournament, this weak connection and the loading Pokeball just stays there. And I keep lagging, I keep missing my fast moves, I keep missing my switches. I just don't know what to say anymore. Like, I am actually whining at this point. Because I was that frustrated during the tournament. Like, after some practice, I got a hang of it. But at this point, I was just completely new to the update. And everyone whose apps got updated before the tournament faced the same issue I did. He switches to his Nidoqueen, but he again switches to his Alolan Ninetales. Now, I kept my Alolan Marowak in the first match because I thought that he was going to bring his Alolan Ninetales, and Alolan Marowak would win that matchup with Bone Club and Shadow Ball bait. Shadow Ball is just neutral all over the meta except for the dark types and hits like a truck. Shadow Ball almost one-shots Nidoqueen. So if you have an energy advantage and if you're sure that your opponent is going to, if you can farm out his Alolan Ninetales, you can do damage with Alolan Marowak. I really liked Alolan Marowak, but I may skip Alolan Marowak in the future. Either I will skip Alolan Marowak or Alolan Sandslash. Because a lot of people, in my first two matches, they didn't bring Alolan Ninetales at all, I think. None of them did. So, Alolan Sandslash, not... It has good matchups overall, like the key matchups I need, but the problem is I am not sure that my opponent is going to bring those specific mons in their team of 3 that Alolan Sandslash can help. So I win my first round in this tournament, and we do the third match. And he leads with a Raichu. That's a Legacy Thundershock Raichu. Really spice pick. And Raichu just gets to Wild Charge so fast. It was 5 or 4 Thundershocks, I think. So I know it's not a Wild Charge. For Wild Charge you need 6 Thundershocks. And I get to my crunch, and poison jabs are just chunking away at that Raichu. Raichu is so spammy, so high DPS, but is just really frail. I am basically taking that Raichu down with just poison jabs. And here, that was 6 Thundershocks, so that was a Wild Charge. So I shield, correctly predicted, and I get to my crunch. He doesn't shield this. He lets it go because his Raichu wouldn't get to another Wild Charge anyways. So he switches to Nidoqueen. And I use my crunch. And as I am leading in energy, the thing about Skuntank and Nidoqueen matchups are, in the one shield, in the lead matchup, you lose because Nidoqueen would get to another Earthquake and tank the first crunch. But if you are leading in energy, in the one shield, you can get to a second crunch before Nidoqueen gets to a second Earth Power. Third Earth Power. So you can get to 3 crunches before the second Earth Power. And that way you can beat Nidoqueen, but you need some energy advantage for that. And because of the lead matchup win, this was basically rock, paper, scissors from here on out. I am really liking Skuntank. Skuntank I can use as a safe switch in. Skuntank I can use as a safe lead usually. So I am really liking Skuntank for this meta. At first I was skeptical about Skuntank. That Skuntank is just frail, it wouldn't hold up against Umbreon and Alolan Raticate, but now because of its moveset and neutrality to Fairy, I am really considering Skuntank. And I felt the need for Last Resort. I really did this tournament. I know, like, you can say that you can win without Last Resort. Yes, you can. Umbreon is still a really good mon without Last Resort, but without Last Resort, Umbreon just loses to Skuntank, Raticate, and Alolan Ninetales. With Last Resort, you can do high damage to Alolan Ninetales. So if you have a lot of energy left, and suppose you have a lot of energy, a half health Umbreon, and your opponent has a full health Alolan Ninetales. If you have a lot of energy, you can do one last resort. It would chunk like 40 or around 50% of Ninetales' health, and then if you can just barely get to another last resort, you can take down that Alolan at that full health Alolan Ninetales. So this is what I'm talking about. He is using an Alolan Raticate, and I'm taking Ninetales Umbreon lead. So here, knowing he had Alolan Raticate, I should have switched up my lead and brought Skuntank in my front. So again, I'm trying to double piggyback. And I decide to switch because I know that I was going to lose, and he gets one quick attack advantage from my switching. So I knew he was going for a Hyper Fang. So here I am at a shield disadvantage. Now, I think I should have tried to bait there. Because if I did a crunch, and I could have just farmed out that Raticate with poison jabs. Doing a flamethrower was my mistake. He goes for a Hyper Fang. He does a lot of damage. And here I knew that if I did the crunch first, I wouldn't need to switch because I would have enough energy to get to another crunch, and my Alolan Ninetales wouldn't have to take this much damage. So his Raticate almost took down my Skuntank, almost chunked my Umbreon, and almost took out my Alolan Ninetales. His Raticate alone, because I didn't have a hard counter for that first. And here it's just his game. I had already lost. If I could beat that Raticate with my Skuntank, still I think that even if I did that, I would have probably lost the match anyways, because the team I took wasn't really as effective versus the team he took. Like, my team is good in general. My team, but his team is like double darks, 2 darks that counter Umbreon, and 1 dark that has a shielding matchup with Skuntank. So here I decide to take a Alolan Sandslash lead with Nine Tails and Skuntang. And he leads with Nine Tails. So again, he decides to switch, and I charge a little bit and I switch to my Alolan Ninetales. I don't need to shield that. I predict correctly, it's a crunch. So I just keep chunking away at that Alolan Raticate. Now this was a Hyper Fang, and that Hyper Fang would put me dangerously low. So I shield and I farm out his Alolan Raticate. Now he comes back with his Skuntang. Now again, I go for Ice Beam here. This wouldn't make a difference even if I had went for Psyshock, because he shields this anyways. So my Alolan Ninetales does a lot of damage. Now Alolan Sandslash beats Skuntank. You don't need to go for Bulldoze, just go for Ice Punch spam, and Skuntank will just go for Ice Punch. Will just go down from Ice Punch spam. Now I decide to shield here to keep energy advantage. And I think I should have gone for Bulldoze. Because Bulldoze would KO Skuntank, but Crunch wouldn't kill me from this health. Not even, and neither would Sludge Bomb. So Sludge Bomb is double resisted. Don't Sludge Bomb Alolan Raticate, Alolan Sandslash or any Steel type is double resisted. So he has an Alolan Ninetales in the back. So here, if I had Gyro Ball, it was game over right there. But I decide to switch to my Skuntank, and it's basically game over still, because just look at that poison jab damage. So the team comp I ran, and because of the energy disadvantages I got because of switching, I had to win the lead. And if I lost the lead, I lost the match. And again, I decided to go with the same team comp. Here, I should have switched up my team comp. Because he comes out with Alolan Raticate. I should have led with Skuntank, but I don't know. Here, I switch into my Skuntank, and he doesn't switch yet. That's a Hyper Fang. And he baits me with Crunch. So I get baited right there. So that's one mistake. And another mistake was doing a flamethrower right there. I should have just gone for that Crunch. Again, I made the same mistake I did in game 1. I should have just gone for the Crunch. If I did that, I would have energy advantage. He played really good. I won't get to a Crunch. He played so good with his Alolan Raticate. Again, Alolan Raticate almost took out nearly 1.5 of my ones in one shielding. Like, he just played Alolan Raticate that good, and I didn't know how to counter it. Now he switched to his Alolan Ninetales, and I switched to my Sandslash. Again, if I had Gyro Ball, this would have been GG right there. And he knows I am running Bulldoze. So he shields. So if I had Gyro Ball, I would just Gyro Ball from this range and have my Ninetales in the back. So here my Alolan Sandslash actually goes down. And now I am again in a really bad position. Now I don't shield that because both Psyshock I didn't shield it because I know he had energy from his Alolan Raticate. And he had a Skuntank in the back. It was game over. Even if I had shielded that, I would have still lost that game. So he takes. I lose round number 3. Now round 4 versus Ignizard. I learned from my past mistakes and I take Skuntank lead. We both take Skuntank lead, but I think he doesn't know I have Flamethrower instead of Sludge Bomb. True. So we both switch, and I switch into my Alolan Sandslash, and he switches to his Alolan Nitrous. That was a mistake on his part. He should have seen what I do and then switch. He was just, I think, blind switching. And again, if I had Gyro Ball, that would have been KO. So, like, I know that Bulldoze has has better matchups versus Gyro Ball, but I felt the need for Gyro Ball in these two scenarios. But rest of the matches, Bulldoze all the way. Now Ice Beam is double resisted too. Ice Beam resisted by Ice and Steel both. But if you go for Psyshock, that's single resisted, so go for Psyshock. If you're facing Alolan Sandslash, more energy efficient. And he has Vaporeon in the back. And now I bring out my Skuntank. So that was a really good switch on my part. Because I was skeptical if he had a Water type in the back. This is the only match I got to record because I actually lost the footage of the first 2 matches. I forgot to record my screen. I apologize for that. But this is a good game here. Now I'm in a pickle because if my Skuntank would just go down now from Water Guns, and I have Alolan Marowak in the back, but his Vaporeon is really low. So what I do here is, I know it's gonna be an Aqua Tail, so I tank that Aqua Tail because Alolan Marowak is decently fairly tanky, and I chunk him down with Fire Spin. So I think he was trying to switch right there, and he faced the same issue that I did. He missed his fast moves, and I got a fast move instead. So I was leading in an energy advantage now. So I get to a Bone Club. And now I shield. I kept my shield for his third mount in the back. Crunch, and I would get to Bone Clubs sooner than he gets to Crunch. But I don't need to. I take a huge risk here and farm out his Skuntank. And when his Vaporeon comes, I don't risk it. I just go for Bone Club. I could have just Fire Spin him down, but I didn't want to risk it. So I just went for Bone Club, and that was game. Now this was a tournament. This tournament was announced last moment. This was going to happen on the 29th, but due to some technical difficulties, it was advanced to 15th. And I wasn't really prepared, and because of the update, I just don't know what to say actually. And this was so bad that I don't even want to upload these clips, but I still would, because I want everyone to learn from my mistakes and try to understand your opponent, try to adapt with your opponent's playstyle, because I tried to adapt. In few matches I could, and the rest of the matches I couldn't. And making crucial mistakes made me lose the game. So, hope this helps anyone even a little bit. This was Bhuvan Ahmed, signing out.